Yes.
And if you can see that at the outer quadrant, we've already reached what we call ground zero. We are moving to the second, third, fourth quadrant. And believe me, we will get to ground zero in each of these quadrants to ensure transparency, to ensure that nobody is left in there, to ensure that the job is being done professionally. And concerning the other buildings, we are going to carry out holistic investigation.
The police have arrested one out of the 8 robbers who invaded the Ogun State phone market. In a statement, the state police spokesperson, Abimbola Oyeyemi, said the 8 robbers had invaded the market, shooting sporadically at dispossessing traders of expensive phones. A trader was also killed in the process. Meanwhile, a coalition of Arewa elders has cautioned those calling for an interim government in the country to desist forthwith. The elders' position was contained in a communique read by Suleiman Usman, the chairman of the coalition, at the end of a meeting in Kaduna State. Last week, the Department of State Services confirmed a plot by some key players to install an interim government and stop Bola Ahmed Tinubu from being inaugurated as president. The group said those calling for an interim government should be arrested and also prosecuted. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has been advised to live up to expectations in the supplementary election for Mbaitoli Keduro Federal Constituency holding on Saturday. The Labour Party candidate for supplementary election in the constituency in Imo State, Uche Ogwagu, who gave the advice, said the commission will be held totally responsible for any lapses that will prevent free, fair and credible supplementary election. Addressing a press conference at his country home at a Kabul community in the Keduru local government area, Ogwagu further alleged that the APC candidate Akarachi Amadi and his father Charles Amadi had perfected plans to manipulate the election. In his reaction, the APC candidate Akarachi Amadi accused the Labour Party candidate and his people for being the ones trying to rig the election. The governorship candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party (NNPP) in Ebonyi State, Prophet Chris Adol-Awam, has denied being suspended by suspected aggrieved ward executives in Echaba Ward, Ebonyi State. The leadership of the NNPP in the Echaba ward in Ebonyi local government area, led by the secretary of the ward, Annie Okochukwu, allegedly suspended the governorship candidate Adol-Awam over alleged anti-party activities. But Adol-Awam, who spoke through the director of media and publicity for the NNPP campaign organization, Victor Raku in Abakaliki, blamed the former chairman of the party, Solomon Chukwu, who was earlier suspended for embezzling over 78 million naira meant for the party of masterminding the rumor of the suspension. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, said it has discovered a large irrigation farmland where Indian hemp is being cultivated in a commercial quantity in Katsina State. This is the first of its kind for the agents in the state. A spokesperson for the agency in the state, Lilu Amidu, who, while confirming the development, said the irrigation firm was located in a deserted place where people seldom visit or pass through. Amido said the farm was originally meant for planting tomatoes and pepper, but the owners began using it to cultivate Indian hemp. Moving on, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention has recorded 846 Lassa fever cases across 99 local government areas in 25 states. The predominant age group affected is 21 to 30 years, and the male to female ratio for the confirmed cases is 10 to 9. Lassa fever is an acute viral hemorrhagic illness caused by the Lassa virus, a member of the rhinovirus family of viruses. Humans usually become infected with the Lassa virus through exposure to food or household items contaminated with the urine or feces of an infected Mastomys rat. The disease is endemic in the rodent population in parts of West Africa. According to the NCDC, in its Week 13 situation report, it said the suspected cases is now 4,338, and the disease has killed no fewer than 148 persons in the country. The Ogun State Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimot Salakoyi-Dele, has urged Nigerians to embrace peaceful coexistence, saying that no religion preaches violence. The Deputy Governor made this known at a Ramadan tafsir with about 20 Islamic groups across the state in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. She maintained that the country is a unique one, having about 200 different ethnic groups with 2 major religions, hence the need for ethnic and religious tolerance.
At the end of the day, we all have an identity, our religion, our gender, our faith. We all have it. The important thing is that we learn the good lessons, and no religion preaches violence or bad things. It's all about being good and doing good and benefiting humanity. So we should all imbibe this and just make sure that this doesn't divide us. This country has been a country of over 200 ethnic groups, 2 major religions, for as long as the country has been, and we have kept together. And it is our responsibility as the leaders in this generation to make sure that the country remains one and does not get divided. Despite our differences, our challenges, we have to come together in the interest of the unity of this country and the greatness of this country.
Speaking further, the Deputy Governor said it was important for women to play integral roles by ensuring a peaceful atmosphere reigns at home front and also ensure the next generation is properly brought up.
We had a very brilliant lecture from the Deputy Chief Missioner of Nawaruddin Society, and there were 2 things. One directed at myself and His Excellency and other elected officials, our responsibility to the people for good governance after we have been trusted with our mandate, and for people who listened, you know that it was a very insightful lecture. And then the other responsibility part of the lecture was directed at women who are responsible for upbringing, for keeping the family together and taking care of the next generation. So I think there was something in the lecture for everybody, and I hope that the lecture will be beneficial to each and every one of us.
And to other parts of Africa, Sudan's military has warned of potential clashes with the country's powerful paramilitary force. The military said the build-up of the rapid support forces in Khartoum and elsewhere in the country had come without approval of coordination with the armed forces leadership. It also said the RSF measures have stirred up panic and fear among people, exacerbated security risk, and increased tensions between regular forces. The military said it has attempted to find a peaceful solution to such violations to prevent an armed conflict with the RSF. And outside Africa, railway workers stormed the Gare de Lyon Paris station in protest against President Macron's plan to make people work longer for their pensions. A large number of the protesters marched into the station's hallway and took the subway while chanting anti-pension reform slogans. Some train schedules were cancelled, and there is a likelihood that the workers would commence a strike. Trade unions urged a show of force on the streets a day before the Constitutional Council's ruling on the legality of the bill that will raise the retirement age by 2 years to 64. And in business, the next administration after President Buhari will begin the repayment of the $800 million loan approved by the World Bank as a subsidy palliative. Last week, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, revealed to State House correspondents that the federal government had secured $800 million from the World Bank to provide post-petroleum subsidy palliatives for over 50 million Nigerians are ahead of June 2023. The financing agreement documents for the National Social Safety Net Program scale-up between the Federal Republic of Nigeria and International Development Association of the World Bank was obtained on Tuesday. The objective of the project is to expand coverage of the shock responsive safety net support among the poor and vulnerable, and also strengthen Nigeria's national safety net delivery system till June 30, 2024. The document signed by the Nigerian Finance Minister and the World Bank Country Director for Nigeria, Shubham Chaudhary, on August 16, 2022 revealed that the loan was conditional financing. And in entertainment, social media influencer Andre Turt is reportedly facing the possibility of being sued by 3 British women who complain he sexually abused them. The legal team who are putting the allegation together before bringing civil action against Andrew in the High Court. The women reportedly claimed that Andrew sexually abused them between 2013 and 2016 as the self-described misogynist ran an online sex firm from Luton, Bedfordshire. An investigation by the British police force into complaints made by 2 women at the time resulted in no charges being brought up against him, who repeatedly denied the wrongdoing. The British women looking to bring the claim against Andrew say that they have suffered personal injury and psychiatric harm after alleged violent sexual and physical assault in the United Kingdom. And in sport, Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen has revealed that his utmost dream is to win the African Footballer of the Year award. The last Nigerian to win the award was Nwankwo Kanu in 1999 when he edged Ghana's Samuel Kufo and Ivory Coast Ibrahima Bakayoko to the gong. Osimhen made this known in an interview that it has always been his dream to be African Footballer of the Year. The 24-year-old Nigerian international is the highest scoring African player in Europe's top 5 leagues with 21 goals, and he is 3rd overall behind Manchester City's Erling Haaland and Hurricane of Tottenham, who have scored more goals than the former Lille striker. The pair has so far scored 30 and 23 goals, respectively. Osimhen, who joined Napoli for an African record fee of 81 million euros, will however face stiff competition for the award from Liverpool's Mohamed Salah, Bayern Munich, Sadio Mane, as well as Manchester City, Riyad Mahrez. And that's the news update. For more stories, please follow us on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Plus TV Africa and Plus TV Africa Lifestyle. You can also view us from Limex and Limex.tv and Glow TV apps anywhere in the world. I'm Olamide Adeyemi. Many thanks for watching.
Nigeria is witnessing an increase in entrepreneurs, startup companies, and small and micro-scale businesses. Economists say one of the major reasons for this is a problem that has plagued the country: unemployment. Many Nigerians spend several years at home jobless before securing their first jobs or settling for other options. The National Bureau of Statistics puts the country's unemployment rate at 33.3%, the highest on record. Rather than sit at home and complain, more young people are becoming innovative and turning their hobbies into businesses. Olayanwaju sold clothes in his undergraduate days to make extra income. He now does the same thing, but this time around to make a living.
It came as a motivation for me since my university period, because I actually went into selling of NYSC kits, selling all these basic minor clothes. Then after a while, after going to service, it occurred to me that the kind of set of people I roll with, this is what is going on in town. This is the fashion store. This is the brand. And I've been known as Roger Wears. So why is Roger Wears still selling this? Why can't he just move up from this business into the main industry?
Samuel Joy learned to cut hair during her days of unemployment. It's now what she does for a living.
Actually, it hasn't really been easy though, but a lot of challenges ahead of it, and some I've faced though, and it's cool. But I love it being, I was once a tomboy. That's when I learned barbing. And ever since then, I think I've been able to convince people to believe my skills.
Unemployment and poverty also forced Willie to be a barber on the streets of highbrow Victoria Island in Lagos.
When I was growing up, father actually wanted me to do something good. He wanted me to go to school, wanted me to have a good grades in school. Well, you know the system in the country. When after the school stage, you come back, you graduate from school, you still don't have good jobs out there.
On the flip side, unemployment has led to the stagnation of some individuals who find it tough to adapt because of their specializations. Wale Scott, a professional sports broadcaster, lost his job at the peak of his career. His unemployment journey lasted about 7 years. Moving on and getting another job was more difficult than he had imagined it would be.
A Wale Scott with all that talent doesn't have a job. But I realized that every office I went to, when I picked myself up, when I get there, the guys who are in my department there are like, I beg, I space no day, because they have job security problems. As in, if this guy comes, he's going to take our job. That was my major reason why I didn't get a job that early. Everybody felt like, it's good. If he comes, he's going to take our job and all that. So I didn't get a job for a long time.
All this doesn't mean there aren't people who still get white-collar jobs. But what factors make some people employable and others unemployable?
As a job seeker, you need to position yourself to get that fresh information. The longer a job opening is out there, the reduced or the more reduced your chances as a job seeker to get shortlisted. So that's the first thing first is the information and the network. Then the next step is actually your own preparedness, which is your documents, your marketing tool, your CV. Anything that will sell you best should come first on your CV or should be prominent on your CV. There are some schools that if you are a graduate of that school, just put it at the bottom of your CV. So if your CV is a 3-pager, let it be maybe like the second to the last item on your CV. There are some schools that you need to put proudly on the first page because those schools are considered to be thorough and rigorous in their processes. So how do you apply? If you're applying to an online portal, fine, you have to upload your CV still. Or you could apply to an email. Usually such vacancies, there's always an email for you to send your email. So when applying, ensure that you're applying properly. And the basic rules are, the subject must be the job title you're applying for. So for instance, if it's an accounting role, the subject should be accountant or accounting opening, something like that.
Everybody's got talent, but are you actually the right talent for that particular role? Then again, what exactly are you prepared? When I mean the right talent, do you have the right skills? Do you have the right qualification, experience? So all this, and also it has to do with your behavioral attributes for the role. So if you have all this, yes, maybe you could actually get qualified for the role. But when you don't have this, you become like a misfit for the role. What makes people unemployable is also a determinant of your readiness. Are you available? Are you actually what we want for that role?
At a point in my life, I actually did consider it. And I was back in school. I did consider going into Yahoo Yahoo.
All right, so what changed your mind?
It's something that when I tried to, I felt this adrenaline rush of being scared of being caught, being scared of sitting in jail. It's something that I did try for like a week, not even, it didn't take up to 2 weeks, just a week. And within that week, it's something I understood that no, this is no way for me. Because, for example, there are a lot of youths that are just like me in these same markets that were into this business. And I've seen a whole lot of them that have bought cars just from this business, that have gotten a house just from this business.
There is no lady that is willing to do something that is illegal. Yeah. It's just due to the, what is it called? The bad economy in our country. Because I see myself as somebody that has really been focused from my childhood. There are some ladies that doesn't have patience in doing some things they do. That's why you see some runs girls around.
Our Nigerian youths won't try because go easy. At the kind of primary, from primary to secondary. Secondary, most of them are in university, not graduate. After graduation, on the serve, if you about a year, a year to be served. So one serve that most of them want to say federal, or serve the federal, and one can serve in the states. Instead of the country, me one, sibe, on that one le. So I'm out quickly and fashion. Most of them want online business, non she. The about one agency, and our youth not quite in business dancing.
So I feel a lot of people actually have this mindset of they want to go into legal ways and make it out of legal ways. So one day they can always say, back then I never had it, but today I have it because I set my mind into this market business and not the other shady business, because no one knows tomorrow.
The problem is not the guys from the outside. It's actually from the inside. You don't get any more respect at home anymore. The wifey doesn't respect you anymore. Your mother, your parents don't respect you anymore. And if you are fortunate that you have siblings who actually have jobs during that period, the parents, people around you tend to actually give the respect to those people, and you lose your respect as the elderly one. So the time I felt I lost was the time that I got into drinking, because people at home expect you to come back and they want to talk to you, they want to insult you, and to forget to get a deaf ear to the insult. You get to get drunk, get high, just come home and sleep. Whatever they're saying, you can't hear them. And it's a terrible mental state when you can't bring money out to feed your family. You can't bring money out to take care of the house. The worst part is when you go out in the mornings, early in the morning to go and look for a job and come back in the evening, your neighbors are wondering, where does he go every day, Seth? As in, when it's time for them to pay for the woman that sweeps the floor, he can't pay. Time to pay for the rent, he can't pay. So where does he go every morning? But you can't stay at home as a man. But you still go out all day, come back at night, no luck. And then nobody at home is understanding that there's no luck, it happens. They're like, why would you have luck?
Most of my friends are already well made, and probably there are times when they will just call me, what's up? Knowing that I'm this kind of person that likes going to parties, I like going out. What's up, Proja? Come on, let's go out, let's hang out. But due to the fact that I'm jobless and probably have no cash on me, I will just respectfully decline the offer.
Both the private sector and individual have roles to play as far as employment-related issues are concerned. Take the private sectors, for example. Private sectors, or private sector rather, not sectors. The private sector have they have to help to drive the public sectors in every area where it is failing. I give you a very good example. In the ongoing pandemic, the government of Nigeria has not been able to take to life any vaccine. Not because there are no researchers, not because there are no research institutes, but there were other factors that go into that space to make it happen. One of it is funding of research. We have to start changing the orientation of people. There is the mentality of quick wealth all around, all